So I did something stupid. It's not the first time, and it is probably not the last. Hello guys, and Happy New Year if you're watching this when it's released, hopefully. If I'm not really slow, we'll see. So, a few months ago I made a ACOTAR inspired corset for one of the 3 sister main characters. That one was inspired by the character Nesta, and as I said in that video, I wanted to do the 2 other ones as well. So this corset in this video is inspired by Elain. So ACOTAR is a book series. It's short for A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is a very popular book series in the fantasy romance genre. And the main character is Feyre for the first books, and she has 2 sisters, Elain, who's the middle sister, and Nesta, who's the eldest. So Feyre is the youngest. So before moving on, I might be going into some spoiler territory in terms of the book series and the narrative character relationships and so on. So just be warned, if you want to read these books and don't want to be spoiled, here's your chance to tune out. Elain is usually described as sort of the pretty one, the soft feminine one. She's almost described as the youngest because they're very protective of her. Elain really loves flowers. She loves gardening. She loves kind of taking care of other people. She likes baking, as of at least later books. So this corset is a combination of a revised cottage core pattern that I've used before, and I'm going to link that below. And it is combined with the Shelley bra pattern from Pinup Girls. So I wanted to try to add actual cups into a corset, and we'll see how that turns out. But I think that'll add an even more feminine aspect to this corset. Now I have this pink fabric with tiny white flowers on it that I think is perfect for this project. So I want to combine this with some flower embroidery on the front. I have yet to do the straps, and I haven't quite decided how to do, because I want to do this frill, not flip, flounce. Haven't quite decided. Might be a frill, might be a flounce. So I need to test that. It reaches the strap and then a bit towards the back, but it's basically just like a small wing. Now, I have finished one of the cups. So this is what that looks like. This is how it's going to sit. Here are the main parts. So we have the back, and then we have the side back, side front, the cup, and the front panel. So at this point, I am just going to put these together. I'll start with these 2 panels, put it in the cup. So I sketched out the embroidery digitally and I just transferred it to the back of the front panels. I use a regular pencil for this, and that is just because I wanted really sharp lines and details and I didn't want it to get smudged. So I am going to continue working on the lining. By the way, this fabric is just so nice. It has these shiny dots. So I have sewn together the front pieces where the cup will be sewn into. The cup is all done. So I'm just going to put this underwire casing along this seam allowance and sew along the innermost edge. So what I really have to make sure here is that I don't close the casing. I just have to stay on the very edge. think it does look good. So it's a bit pointy, which might be due to the stiff material, and it might be due to the fact that I have something else underneath. So the embroidery is finally finished. I've spent a lot of time on this. Hopefully it was worth it in the end. I kind of like the variety of it. So what I'm gonna do now is to just sew the lining and the main fabric together in the front and put in the busk. I have this regular busk that I'm gonna use. I would have liked it to be slightly longer, but I think it will be fine. I've just marked the openings for this on the lining, and I'm going to put these right sides together, sew in between all the openings, and then try to put the busk in. I've already sewn these two pieces together for the side with the studs in. Good, so I'm just going to top stitch. So now that the busk is in, I just have to sew the panels together and make the boning channels. So here is the front with the studs in it. I'm just going to baste these two layers together, because then I can sew on the lining and the outer layer separately and sort of fold them over. One thing I've thought about though is in terms of the boning of the front here, I don't want to sew boning channels over the embroidery. So what I think I might do is to have Ridgeline boning in the lining layer and then have the next piece of boning in the seam right here. So if you're wondering why there are notches here, it is just because I sewed two panels together before I decided to do a different method. So I'm just going to pin this to this side, pin this to that side, and then flip them over. And here's what it looks like when all the panels are in. So now I just need boning channels, and I need one here, and two here in the back. Now I need to have my thimble nearby because hand sewing through this coutil is so hard. So I did something stupid. It's not the first time and it is probably not the last, but I was gonna make holes for the grommets. When I use bigger grommets, I use this to make the holes and that works fine. And I just didn't think, so I tried to use this, which is for a smaller size, to punch the holes, but it's not really meant to do that. So what happened instead was, yeah, it did punch a hole, but it punched a bigger hole and it also destroyed the edge. So this is what it ended up looking like. So it's a much bigger hole in the middle and it has also damaged the fabric outside. So I'm considering using a bigger size grommet and in that way sort of hold it more together and hide the damage. So try to make a bigger hole. It won't cover it completely, but it will cover a lot of it. Yeah, I think that looks better. So I'm gonna have fewer grommets, but bigger ones. I think that is as good as it gets. And I cannot see any of the tearing on the outside, so hopefully this grommet will just hold that fabric in place. Now, this is honestly one of my favorite projects so far, and I really hope you guys liked following me on this process. So if you want to be part of this cozy little community on the internet, it would be great if you would consider subscribing. That also shows the YouTube algorithm that you appreciate the content. If you want to support the channel more directly, I also have a Patreon page where you can become a member. Super huge thanks to my patrons who help me continue doing what I do. So if you guys want to be part of my lovely patrons, there is a link below that you can follow to become a member. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.